Well, you know, it never feels like the right time, and the longer you go without recording a video, the harder it is to come back. And in my case, man, I just have one question. Is summer over yet? Is it safe to come out? Because, oh my gosh, I've had a summer and it's not over yet, but soon it's almost over. And here's to hoping for a better fall. Okay, so in my community post, I posted um, when I returned from being evacuated. I posted I posted on my community tab that those deck videos with, you know, the which decks would you grab in a fire are all bullshit. So I'll start with a little bit. I'll give you a little recap of my summer. Where I live, summer's hot and dry. It's the only part of Canada that has a strip of real desert just south of where I live. And we're on fire. We have been on fire 3 weeks now. We made the news. Huge wildfire, out of control. And we have been on evacuation alert before, but this was the first time that we were actually ordered to evacuate our homes. So let me start by saying, when you get that kind of order, the last thing on my mind was my decks. Period. Full stop. You know, the first thing on my mind is important documents, medication. You know, aside from like people and pets out of the house, you want your important documents and your medication. And yeah. But we were given the evacuation alert at around just before noon, and it was just before 10 p.m. when we were ordered to leave our home in the hands of the firefighters. And hopefully when we left our home, there was, you know, the fire was growing rapidly, and there was the possibility of losing our home. You don't think about decks at a time like that. So I'm glad. I don't think I ever did one of those videos, but if I did, I'm full of shit. Like if back in the day I did one of those, you know, decks I would grab in a fire, I call bullshit on myself. I'm not sure. I don't think I did, but if I have, yeah, you're full of shit, Grace. All right. So that was my summer. We were evacuated a little over a week. We were safe. We were together, and that's all that mattered. And thank the gods, we were able to return home, and our home was intact. So there's the evacuation story. That's all I have to say about it. Other than, no, it's not all I have to say about it. It really makes you take stock in your life when something like that happens. I have to say, oh yeah, I did want to talk about what I did end up taking, but it just makes you take stock in your life, right? Like any kind of big event where, you know, close calls or whatever, health scare, natural disaster, etc., right? So we were given the order. Let me finish the story because I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay. So we were given the order to evacuate just before noon, and it was just before 10 p.m. when we were ordered, when we were given the alert to be ready to go. And then about almost 10 hours later, we were ordered to leave. Of course, once I took care of all the important things, I just continued working because what am I going to do, right? And we've had the alert before, and it was, it was just an alert, and we are still under alert right now. Um, but we were packed. We had our go bags ready to go, and at any moments, at a minute's notice, we would be ordered to leave. Having had 10 hours before actually leaving, at a certain point, when my husband came home, we just waited. And during the waiting is when I started to think, okay, well, if I did want to salvage anything, if I did, or safeguard anything, what would it be? That's not essential. That's non-essential, because the essentials were already taken care of. And I couldn't think of anything for the first few hours. And then it was only around 6 p.m. that I started to think, well, you know what? Let me look at what I can't replace. And when I mean I can't replace one to one, right? Like it would be something, let's something that's like no longer in production, or something that's sentimental. And I learned I am sentimental, but not about things. And the only reason I did end up taking anything with me that wasn't essential, and literally it was just like a tote bag that had, what did I take with me? Well, my grimoire. This is my main grimoire. And you like this, it's like really, we got a hair tie that holds it shut because it's, and little safety pins I don't want to lose are up here. Anyway. So I did take my grimoire with me, and I'm sorry, it's not completely in the frame because, well, if I do, there, how's that? That's all right. There. So I threw that in the bag. I had started, just before we were evacuated, I had started getting back into making things. I gave it a try, discovered that crocheting did not hurt my hands, but also it kept them moving in a way that's different from typing or mousing, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So what did I take with me? Of course, I grabbed my vintage decks, the ones that there's no way I would be able to replace them, and they're meaningful to me because two of them were gifts. So of course I grabbed my oldest decks, my oldest tarot decks, and my vintage ones that can't be replaced. That accounted for about 3. And then I tossed in the mix. I don't have, you know what the 3 are, right? Like if you've been watching me for a minute, it's Thoth, my first edition Thoth, my Greenie, and Animal Wise first edition that my dear friend Ian sent me as a gift, and my Morgan Greer, because I've had it with me. Like it made it through so many things, it might as well come with me. And then because I had started making things again, I was like almost done making this, I call it a sweater for my deck. I had started making this one, and I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna grab this for something to do. If I'm sitting in my car or wherever it is we end up, keep my mind off things. And this is, like I said, the sweater I made for my Druid craft, which I have to say, I love the edging I did on this, and I just removed, for those of you who care about these things, I just removed the white borders from this one. So I brought that with me. The other deck I brought with me was new to me. It was this one, Antique Anatomy. And this one surprised me. This one was gifted to me. and around, during Leo season, right? Birthday and stuff like that. And this one surprised me. I wasn't expecting to like it, and it became a quick favorite. Mind you, I haven't even looked at it. This is the first time I open it up since we got home, but that's because of a different thing that I'm working on right now. And I only brought 3 examples. This is another one I brought with me. This, oh my God, look at this bag, okay? Oh my God, isn't it beautiful? I think the maker of this bag calls it I think it's Finis Coronatopus. The end crowns the work. And this deck, so there's going to be a caveat about this deck because, let me see if I can straighten out this camera a little bit. Okay. There's going to be a little bit of caveat, around this deck because it was not easy. It wasn't easy to obtain. I had seen this, of all places, on my phone. Those phone apps, like tarot apps and stuff like that. That's where I first saw this. And Graven Images Oracle by Natalie Zayman and Catherine Clark. And the reason it got my attention was because the image that showed up, oh my God, the image that showed up, I need to show you this because, let me see. You know how I check, of course I check the back because sometimes it's the card you're looking for is usually the one at the back. Let me find it. Yeah, it's been a while. I probably should have been prepared, but you know what it is here. Cinema Verite. Oh my God, I missed it entirely. Okay, so while I'm looking for the card, let me tell you this. So because I saw the app, of course I bought the app right away, and then I thought, oh, I wonder if there's a physical deck. So I did a search, and there was only one website selling the physical deck. And I tried to order it, and it wouldn't ship to Canada, which in this day and age surprised me because nowadays it's not as bad as it was, let's say 15 years ago or even 5 years ago. Oh my God, people, I can't find the card. And so I tried ordering it and the site wouldn't let me order it. And, oh my God, I'm getting frustrated now. Okay, the site wouldn't let me order it. Let me see if it's in the book. No, okay. I'll find it. The site wouldn't let me order it, so I asked my friend, and my friend ordered it for me, and she didn't receive any shipping confirmation. It was like just up in the air. And so after waiting about a week or 10 days or something like that, might have even been 2 weeks, I'm still going to go through the deck, people. This way, look, you get to see the deck. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'll go back to that. So I don't know, like the customer service was not good. There was no notification from the website that the order had that it had been shipped. My friend followed up. I suggested, you know what, just file with, your payment platform, and that's it. It's just not meant to be. It's fine. I have the app on my phone. I'll live. And long story short, obviously it's here. She received it and it was cut so badly. The deck, first of all, the cardstock is like greeting card paper. It's probably even a little thinner than greeting card. It was cut so unevenly, it was maddening, like so unevenly. But my beautiful friend, who is a whiz with the guillotine, unlike me, straightened it out as much as possible. So it's pretty smooth, people. It's pretty smooth. And then when I received it, I edged it and I rounded the corners. Why am I showing you this? This is the image that popped up on the app on my phone, and I was just taken aback. For those of you who do not know, my late father was a sculptor, and he sculpted monuments, statues and monuments for cemeteries. My dad was the original goth. He had the original goth job. And this is one of his statues. And I say it's one of many that he's made for cemeteries in the Northeast and in the Chicago area. My father came from a line of sculptors and artists. His father was a sculptor and made monuments and statues, and his older brother as well, who had a business in the Chicago area for decades. Previous to that was my father's uncle was there. My dad had settled in the Northeast, and his work can be found in cemeteries all along the Northeast of the United States. Some in Montreal as well, because when he first immigrated, he worked at Burson Monuments on St. Lawrence Boulevard in Montreal. I don't think they exist anymore. I'm not sure. They used to be like kind of across the street, sort of, to Schwartz's, for anyone who's from the Montreal area. But anyway, I digress. Might be renamed. I don't know. I don't know. Like this, I'm talking about shit from like 100 years ago. Okay, not 100 years ago, but you know, close. 80 years ago. All right. I saw this on my app and I said, oh my freaking God. So I went and I dug up photographs that I have, like just a few photographs of his work. And I didn't bring it for this video because I got nothing to prove. I don't give a shit. But it's on my Instagram where I show the picture of my dad working on one of these. And when I flipped through, I found my family's work. Some is my dad's, some is his my great uncle Alfred, some is my dad's brother's work, and it just blew my mind. I had to have it. It's just very personal to me. And I'm just flipping through because, you know, I've let you see the images, and it's a really, really beautiful photographic deck. And I'm happy I was able, with the help of my dear friend, to get a copy. And I tell you the whole story about getting a copy because, you know, it, aside from it was a little tricky with the communication with the website, the one website that had it on there. I'm not even going, you know, Google it yourself if you're interested. I'm not even going to put the link below. And the production value of it is a bit, you know, it's this, you know, like I normally say, what are people expecting their cards to live through? And I'm the first one to say, please stop people on YouTube making comments that the cardstock is too thin, because then now we have decks I can't shuffle. But this really would have been nice on, let's say, you know, like a satin cardstock or even linen, you know what I mean? Like something like that's shuffleable. This is, oh my God, this, anyway. Obviously, I'm not going to point out the stuff that's my dad's work because this video is not about him. Anyway, so this is really, in terms of the kind of deck it is, well, the guidebook is, okay. I wish, you know, a major publisher would pick this up. I wish my publisher would pick this up because I bet they would do a beautiful job with it. Oh, here, let me try to do this. Oh my God, people, sorry, it's a little. The guidebook, and like these are like, they're numbered and lettered, and it's different aspects. There's mind, and there's physical, and I think I got that right, an emotion and all that stuff. It's a very, it's very specific in the readings it gives. It gives you very specific readings. It's very, it reminds me a lot of, it's got the same kind of vibe as, say, a Lenormand kind of reading. It's got a similar vibe to Fallen Angels, which I no longer have, but it has that kind of vibe, right? It's anyways, I really love it. And this bag, oh my God. This bag is just perfect. Okay. Oh, okay, because in case someone asks in the comment section, I got this bag. I bought it on Etsy. I think it's I can't remember the seller's name. Oh my God. I'm actually going to do this, people. I'm actually going to look up the seller because I know someone's going to ask me, and I really, for me, these bags are a splurge, but they, I don't get one of these bags for all my decks. That's for sure. I make a lot myself, or whatever the case is, right? Or I just leave it in the original box if the original box doesn't bother me. Oh my God, it's Crystal Haven UK. I knew it was Crystal UK, but I couldn't remember what the middle. It's Crystal Haven UK, and anyways, it's lined. It's beautiful, and all right. My God, I spent a lot of time on that. I'm sorry. So yeah, it's been a bit of a summer. I was sorry about that. I'm jiggling the camera. So yeah, you know, I wanted to come on and do a video or whatever, and it's I figured this for me is more of an icebreaker to come back on and talk about things. I don't have anything really profound to say other. I'm going to share a couple of more things, and then if there's interest, because it does, you know, it's only if there's interest, leave a comment down below. I will, I'm thinking of doing a tarot and oracle deck collection video. I think I've mentioned this before, but I don't even know. I'm not even the same person I was like last month. You know what I mean? Like, to put it bluntly, like this experience has changed me, just like any other, like, you know, experience. And yeah, so I'll show you some other stuff so I made my first poppet and I don't know, I followed, this is the only time, I think this is the only time I followed a pattern. And I don't do well with patterns. Like the other stuff that I make is just, I don't know what it's going to be until it be. And then I'm always pleasantly surprised. This is, I followed a pattern, and I'm not really, I don't hate it. It's my first attempt at a poppet. And I like it. I think it's freaking cute. The head's really big though. Again, I followed the pattern and I got a really big head. But anyway, so this was something I worked on. This is the first thing I made when I decided, okay, I'm going to try using my hands to see if I could still create. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I have an inflammatory arthritis and my hands have been really bothering me to the point where it has affected the cards I use. And I do a lot of typing during the day. I do a lot of repetitive motion with the mouse and everything. And I thought, well, on my downtime, let me try doing different kind of movement with my hands because they hurt, they get stiff. It's, those of you who know. All right, so that was my puppet. This was fun. I'm going to make another one at some point, but this is my friend here. Okay. I also made this. My favorite thing to do is when I go thrifting is I look for vintage yarns, like, you know, stuff that people got rid of, that was the end, like was what was left from a project. I rarely make anything with brand new. I'll buy brand new yarn for a garment that I'm making, but crafts, it's always with scrap yarn. What else did I want to share? I think I wanted to share one more thing, and that would be, oh, a couple of things. Speaking of hands that hurt. So, a dear friend had recommended this deck to me. And I'm gonna be brutally honest. I love it. This is the best ancestral, like truly ancestral tarot deck that no one's talking about. Or maybe it's because I don't watch tarot videos anymore. I really don't. I'm not watching people's deck collections, which is why I'm asking if there's an interest, if it's still a thing, if you want me to share my collection, leave a comment below. Otherwise, it's a lot of work to pull them all out and categorize them and record, you know what I mean? So only if there's interest will I do it. And this is the new Lo Scarabeo packaging. Okay, so this box and everything. All right, I think it looks pretty sexy. This is the reissue or the revamp of the Tarocchi delle Origini. Yeah, delle Origini. I know this because I looked it up. All right, and a Tarot of Origins. And I'm gonna say this. I normally, you know, if you have it, Tarot of the Origins, and you hate it, please direct message me on, like, DM me on Instagram, because I love it. I love what they did. I love what Lo Scarabeo did with this deck. This is, you know, just the slight borders on the sides. I love Sergio Toppi's artwork. He is a renowned artist, graphic novels, that kind of stuff. And I totally connected with this deck. My dear friend had suggested it to me, and this to me is and again, it's always subjective, but this to me is the Black Madonna deck energy that I'm looking for, the Dark Mother energy, the Black Madonna. Those of you who may not, may only know what you've been exposed to, let's say on YouTube, or like very minimal exposure. Black Madonna is a concept that is beyond just the statues of Black Madonnas. It's the primordial mother, and that's the energy that I get from this deck. And at first I thought it was very masculine, and then working with it, and I worked with it a lot, which brings me to the reason why I want the Tarot of Origins is because this cardstock is killing me. I can't shuffle it, so I have to do this and, so, you know, pick a card or 3 cards or whatever it is. But it's mind-blowing. It's absolutely blowing my mind. But it would be nice to, one, have the titles on the cards so that I don't have to look up in the book exactly what card I'm looking at. And so the titles, and it would be really nice to be able to shuffle it. So yeah, but it's not really, It's called Primordial Tarot, which I've brought this up before in my videos, that in Europe, primarily in Europe, but also I noticed in, in Latin America and in South America and Latin cultures, in France, in Belgium, Germany, like, not just Latin cultures. The word tarot, up until I started watching Tarot Tube, meant any deck of cards used for cartomancy, for divination. Which is why, if you're one of those people shopping for decks online, and you're going through eBay or whatever, and you see something and it says le tarot of, I don't know, the broccoli or whatever. I just made that up, and it says 52 cards, or it says 38 cards, or like some random number, 49 cards. That is because the word tarot is synonymous with divination in a lot of other countries. This one is, although it's called the Primordial Tarot, and it was just re-released by Los Scarabeo. I think the first one, Tarot of Origins, was released, I think, 23 years ago or something like that. Is like, it has major arcana cards, and the suits are loosely, very loosely based on the standard tarot that we know, the mainstream tarot. This is the suit of nature, the suit of, like, the blacks are majors. This is the suit of nature, blood, soul, and jewels, right? But it's this is I would call it more of a structured oracle deck, or like a tarot adjacent structured oracle deck. Then I do not read this as a tarot deck at all, which you can. It adds a whole other layer. Like, this is the star. You can add your knowledge of mainstream tarot to this, and it adds another layer. But this goes so much deeper, and I wasn't expecting to do a review on Primordial Tarot, so here it is. I love it. I absolutely love it. I edged mine in brown. And again, if you have Tarot of Origins and you hate it, hit me up. And that's it for this one. So love it. Absolutely love it. I did look up Tarot of Origins, usual place, Evil Bay, and no, I am not paying stupid money for decks. I am not. Absolutely not. So there's that. The other thing I wanted to share, which I was debating on whether I was going to share, is what I've been doing. I've been doing an exercise the last 30 days, a tarot exercise, where I'm focusing on one deck for 30 days. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm at a place right now with my decks where I've really, it's really refined and curated. I have certain categories of decks that are very important to me, like in my spiritual life, worldview, whatever you want to call it. And I'm wanting to spend time with them. Also, I don't know, I'm sorry, this is all over the place. We're just going to catch up here. It's like having coffee with a friend, okay? So here, I'm going to get my coffee and have a sip. I turned 55 on July 31st. And it was, for me, 55 is like a really, it was an important birthday for me. Okay, I felt like really, really excited about turning 55. The end of a cycle, I'm entering my 56th year. Every 7 years your life changes, and holy shit, am I feeling it. So I did refresh a little bit of my surroundings. I refreshed my deck collection a little bit, let go of ones that no longer serve, and I let them go. So mostly The ones that I don't want to get rid of, they've just been um, retired to a bookshelf. They've been retired and they all live together, and I've decided to freshen up the energy a little bit, and I got some new decks thanks to Cosmic Creeper. He was so good. She was so good, so kind. She did a short on her channel of the Brady Tarot, how she handles it, because I've been wanting the Brady Tarot. I did end up getting it, and I am able to use it, so I'm pretty happy. But so that's one of the new ones that I'll be sharing at some point as I get to know it better. But yeah, I did a little refresh of my deck situation. I brought in some new ones, birthday, right? So I got myself some new decks. I also had some items, some witchy items that were on my wish list from incredible witchy makers. Excuse me. That I also will share if there's any interest. I don't know anymore, guys. Sorry, I've been gone. Like, I'm not even watching. I don't know what everybody's talking about. So I'm just doing my own thing, okay? And you know what? I don't plan to change. I'm still going to just continue doing my own thing. So if there's an interest to see what kind of things I got for my birthday, I will share that too. Where was I? Oh, so I'm doing an exercise for 30 days where I use one deck and I do a daily draw with it, and then I meditate on the card, and then I journal, not much, but journal a little bit what I got, what message I got from the card, and then I read the guidebook because the guidebook is incredible. This is the deck I'm working with for 30 days. Is it in the frame? Oh my God. Okay, well, it's the Mythologia Phoenica. Sorry if it's cut off. By Susanna Salo. And I've had this one for a few years, and this has always been my the deck I take out. This is the one I do my birthday reading with. I don't read for myself like full readings very frequently. I do utilize tarot in a different way on the day-to-day, the daily draw, the weekly draw, the energy, and all that, like the energy surrounding me, questions, advice, that kind of stuff. But this is the one that is special, that only comes out birthday, New Year's Eve, whatever, for those kind of readings, just for the very deeply spiritual readings. It is, it's based on Finnish mythology and the Kalevala, and Susanna Salo is brilliant, absolutely brilliant, the way she ties in the myths of the Kalevala to tarot. And her deck is art. It is absolutely stunning. Oh, so I originally made a red bag for it, but the deck didn't like it. I'm an animist, people, don't judge. I listen. When the deck doesn't like it, I listen. Brown, and it's much happier now. Okay. Just going to show you some cards. Now, I looked up on her website, and it's temporarily out of stock. This is, when it is in stock, it is super affordable, and it is, again, it's subjective. To me, this is the most, it feels both foreign and deeply familiar at the same time. So like I said, this is subjective. I can tell you I'm having an incredible experience with this deck. You receive it and it's a dud. You know this. If you're watching me, you've had this experience. I have a great love and admiration and respect and appreciation for Nordic folk magic. And it informs it informs a lot of my practice. But these images are so familiar to me, foreign yet so familiar at the same time. Look at this. Oh my God. Okay. So yeah, so I've been doing that, and I plan to continue that. I'm doing 30 days with one deck. What I would suggest to all of you who are watching, if you're so inclined, is pick the deck in your collection, whether it's one or in a collection of thousands. I don't have thousands of decks. I don't even have hundreds of decks. I'm not even there. But that's not me. Everyone is different, right? But what I want to suggest is take a deck that you feel is really special. And you only pull it out. I remember Sylvain said this. He said this about his True Black tarot. I'm almost certain it was his True Black, where the production value, it's so sexy, it's beautiful, it's expensive, and it's like he only would reach for his True Black tarot for important questions in life, like he was going to visit a monk at the top of a hill somewhere, on top of a mountain. It was, anyways. I wish I knew which video it was, but you know what? He said it best. Still, you know, those decks that we keep precious, they're incredible when we use them, but it's like we rarely use them. And I wondered, in my case, if it wasn't that I feel like I wasn't special enough to use a special deck more than like on birthdays and New Year's. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird, man. It's just weird. It just makes me ponder. One thing I can tell you so far, I am almost halfway through the 1 month with Mythologia Fennica. And, oh, it's doing the same thing Toph did to me. It's making me side eye all the decks I have. Like, I have these decks that are really, really good. Why do I have these other ones? So there's that. And so there may be, and also I wanted to mention that whenever I've done any type of collection video, I've never done a full collection video. I'm pretty sure I've only done bits and pieces of a collection video. I don't think I ever did. I'm going to want to do it for myself to have inventory. So whether I post it or not, like if there's no interest, I won't post it. If there's interest, I'll post it. But I'm going to do it for myself because I hear myself think things out as I'm showing them. And any video on in my back catalog where I've shown a collection, a portion of my collection or whatever, I guarantee you that by the end of that week, half of them were gone. Half of them were removed from the, I'm sorry, I'm jiggling the camera. Half of them were removed. Half of them are gone. And that is the whole talking about it, thinking it through kind of thing. Or also rewatching the video, I'm thinking, oh, yeah, no, I never used that one. Like, why do I still have it? That kind of thing. Or I don't enjoy using it, etc., etc., etc. So I find that fascinating, that whole exercise. Let me show you all my decks. This is my collection, but by the end of the week, it's not even going to be my collection anymore. So that kind of thing. All right. I'm going to stop here. I think I've talked enough. It was nice to try to get back into it. It was nice to get back into recording a video because of timing and lighting, and seriously, it has more to do with timing and lighting. Well, no, lighting is not a problem. I have lighting I can set up, but it's just I'm able to steal away some time and make these type of videos where it's top down kind of thing. I will eventually make other kind of videos, but right now this is it. I showed my garden slash backyard in a previous video, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I better just stop talking. It was just really nice to talk to you all today. I hope you are well. I hope if you've had a hard summer, I hope things start looking up for you as well. The moon is entering new moon in Virgo tomorrow. I'm very excited. Already thinking, okay, I'm going to be doing some organization and some autumn cleaning in anticipation for my favorite time of year, which is any time but summer. and I'm a Virgo rising. I'm Leo Sun Virgo rising. So yeah. And dark moon. I'm a dark moon baby. I love the dark moon. I love dark moon energy. Dark moon, new moon. It's my favorite. All right. I've lost my train of thought, so I'm going to shut up now. And again, it was so nice to do this again. And I had plans for what I was going to be starting. I was going to start up some new projects this summer, but they got postponed, not canceled, postponed because of the fire. So I'll be talking about that in upcoming videos. Also, again, I'm hoping that wherever you are in the world, you're doing well. I'm sending you a lot of love, blessings, and again, wherever you are in the world, I am wishing you a beautiful day. Bye-bye.